Hello everybody, welcome back to Math 458. Today we are joined, I lied to you a week ago, it is not a local elementary school teacher from Louisville, Kentucky. It is Stephanie Gerstle, my mother.
So anybody who wants to eat the dirt on Dr. Gerstle, I can give it all to you.
That's true.
All right.
So before you get started, let me give a couple notes.
Okay.
My class, not yours. As a reminder, for those of you who just came in, your lesson plans are due today, so please make sure you turn those in for the days out. Also, don't forget that not next Monday, but Friday in a week, you'll have your teaching philosophy statements due on December 2nd. So I'll remind you of that next Monday. But for now, Ms. Gerstle has a few words that she would like to say, and then we'll open things up to questions.
All right. Yeah, I'm Kevin's mom. I teach grades 3, 4, and 5 math. I have also taught kindergarten and first grade. After that, no, I don't teach the middle school grades or anything like that. But I've been around long enough that I can answer some questions. All right, I wrote 3 words on the board. Yet, pizza, money. Believe it or not, these are important in math, especially if you're teaching the younger children. I don't understand it. I don't know how. Rephrase that for them. I don't understand it yet. I don't know how yet. Changes their mindset. They know that they are capable. Confidence, huge, huge thing with the young ones. They need to know, I'm not smart at math. No, you're just not smart at math yet. Big confidence booster. Pizza, if you teach fractions, do everything with pizza. Because it's something they understand. They can visualize it. Comparing 2/3, 7/10, and 5/10. Now you think, well, that's easy. But for a 3rd grader, no, they may not get it. But you tell them, okay, I've got 2 pizzas. And we go to the magic place that has square pizzas. Okay. I ate 7/10. I ate 5/10. Which one is more? They get it. They can visualize it. Another thing, money. If I ask a 4th grader, what's 100 divided by 25? I don't know, I've never divided, big numbers before. All right? What's $1 and how many quarters would you have out of that? 4. They know money. Again, make it relevant to them. Make it something they know. Kevin asked me to bring some of just some everyday supplies, things like that. Counters, if you've got little ones that you're teaching, these are a godsend. They can do 10 frames. They can do multiplication, division. Go to the Dollar Tree, which I drug him to yesterday. Dollar Tree is a great place for teachers. You can get, cheap containers. You can find all kinds of stuff at the Dollar Tree. You will, what was that? Probably with your math series, you will get manipulatives. I have manipulatives everywhere in my classroom because I get them every 4 years when we change series. I get them from other teachers, but they do work for the young kids. 100 blocks. 10 sticks. 10 sticks, great. I even have, I have a dry erase board about this size, magnetized. That's my 1,000 block. You can do so much visuals. Kids are just visual people. They want to see. Some of them, will get it once you say, take 2 10 sticks and multiply them together or add them together. They can do it, but others, they need to see. So I got these off of, Really Good Stuff. It's a teacher supply.
Can you write that on the board, please?
Okay. Are these regular chalk?
No, it's not white, it's colored chalk.
One year for Christmas, he asked for colored chalk. as an adult.
Valuable teaching tool.
Yeah, really good stuff. Now, really, I teach at a Catholic school. Really good stuff. This is a great website, but I will tell you, try to find it other places first, because a lot of times you can find it cheaper, or something similar, make it yourself. You will have students that are challenging, that, you know, you're gonna have all levels. I teach all levels. We don't break out, we don't have the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 pullouts. So I've got to be able to make sure that if I give something to little Johnny over here, little Mary over here, who is Miss Chris and knows everything and wants to learn more, I can challenge her. So find some books, you know, for challenges. I'm trying to go fast because he said not to take too long. Oh, and I might, we might get to this. I start each day. Oh, should I have started with, okay, with my question, or the math joke?
That was gonna be my first question, is what's the joke of the day?
Okay, why are math books so sad? Because they have lots of problems. That would be something I would tell my classes. You know, 8th grade, maybe not. But yeah, I can tell my 3, 4, and 5. We do this. This is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Have no reason to say that I don't get any money back from them. Wish I did. This is a series we adopted a couple of years ago. In addition, it's a lesson a day. It's got all your standards. This is 3rd grade. Tells me what. Yeah, this sir. Tells me what standards they are. Spirals. So I'm getting stuff in here that the 5th graders, or I'm getting in the 5th grade book stuff that the 3rd graders are working on still. It just keeps on spiraling. It is a great review if you don't think you're going to finish. Like we were at lunch and I was telling Kevin, I never get through a whole math book in a year, never. But I know because of Simple Solutions, we cover all of our standards. Now, you know, we may not go in depth. I may have to have a quick mini lesson on something they've never learned. Let's say, here it talks about rounding for 3rd graders. I may have to do a quick mini lesson. Rounding means, is it closer? If I'm rounding to the hundreds, is it closer to the 100 or the 200? Something like that. But I learned that. Projects, we do lots of projects. This was a 3rd grade project. Me by the numbers. And this beginning of the year, 3rd grade, just what they shows me what they know. This was fractions, addition, expanded form, multiplication, subtraction. You know, just quick look at it. But this, you know, also lets me, and they can take it home, do it at home. Parents can help all the parents. Just I want them getting that math thought. Right now, all of my classes are doing a Thanksgiving dinner. 3rd grade is just planning what food you're gonna have. It's maybe potatoes are $3 for the potatoes. You're having 7 people, so they need to know, you know, multiply 3 times 7. And it's got all kinds of little things in here for them. 4th graders, it's differentiated a little. They have a thing of potatoes might only serve 5 people, and they've got 10 people coming, so how many things of potatoes are you gonna have to serve everybody, and how much will that cost? 5th graders, we start with decimals, money. So a turkey might serve 10 and cost $24.50 if you need more, having more than 10. Again, I've extended this for a few students. They have to tell me what percentage of the money they spent, what percentage of the budget it was, because they do have a budget. They have to tell me, I don't know, it was all about percentages, something like that. 3rd graders. 3rd graders are learning their math, we can call them math facts, their multiplication tables. Each month they get a brochure. These are the threes. They have a month to complete the brochure. They do it at home. All really, I mean, it's just all about multiplying by 3. At the end of the month, we have a quiz. We also have a bulletin board that is all about multiplying by 3. That's the 3rd grade bulletin board. Multiplication facts, math facts, are extremely important for them to memorize. And a lot of people, well, they don't need to memorize them. They've got, calculators. They can use their phone. They've got da-da-da-da. That's the one thing, and I've talked to more 6th, 7th, 8th high school math teachers, young women, that they need to know their math facts. It frees up your brain to do the more complex. If I'm still sitting here trying to figure out what 4 times 12 is, and the rest of the class has moved on to another complex, this poor kid's gonna be lost forever. So you gotta get those. We start at 3rd grade, they're expected to know their math facts, or learn their math facts. 4th grade, they need to know them. 5th grade, it's non-negotiable. They better know them. One thing they do, we'll play a quick little modified version. I'm just gonna use these 2 rows. You 2 stand up. Stand up.
Hope you get.
All right, just call out the answer. 5 times 7. He was first. You sit down, you stand up. We do this every single day. 12 times 4.
48.
You sit down. Next person stand up. 5th graders, I might give them something like 19 times 14.
That's too much for these like 15, 16th graders.
14 times 20 minus, okay, all right. Jeez. All right, you're the last person standing, sit down. That's it. There's no prize, there's no, oh, you won. Last person standing is it. But we do that every single day to make sure they know those math facts. They can't do anything else while we're doing it, they have to sit there and listen. I have 7th graders, when I walk by their room, hey, Ms. Bristol, come in here and do a math bee with us. They love it. And I tell them, there's no crying if sorry, you had to sit down for her first, because tomorrow you may win, or you may be the last person standing, even I have trouble. I love doing math bees, they love having them, it reinforces those math facts. We play games. Has anybody here done a scoot? I had never heard of a scoot before I started.
I had never heard of
Last night he didn't know what it was. Scoots are fun, they love them. This one is double-digit multiplication. I've got, say, 20 cards here. Lay them out, I've got tables in my room, lay them out around the room on the tables. Then they've got a scoot answer sheet. I give them maybe, depending on my mood, a minute and a half. To go to each station, answer a question, and then I'll say, scoot, and then they rotate. Scoot, then they rotate. It just exposes them to, these are, like I say, word problems you can get. You can do scoots any way, for any math thing you can think of, and not even math. I mean, I've got other teachers that are doing reading scoots, grammar scoots. Scoots are fun, they like those. Also, I have Who Has. Where did I drop my, I have Who Has cards. Again, this is something you can buy. They're cards that might have, you had them last, didn't you?
What is this?
Those I have Who Has cards.
I don't know.
Oh, well.
Oh yeah, those. I gave them back.
Okay, good deal. You can go, again, online, find these online. If you notice, I made these myself. Index cards. Whereas, I have 582. Pass these around to give them a chance to answer what their problem is, and then somebody will start. I have 582. Or no, who has 22 times 8? They all have to quick solve it. Then, I have whatever that is. Then they'll say, well, I have 176. Who has what my problem is? You go around the room and should end up, although coming right back to the person who started it. Again, you can do these for all, I've got these for all kinds of things.
How often does that happen in practice?
What, the,
Gets back to who started.
if I don't make it, always, if I make them, I've messed up before. I think I messed up on this one, I've left a card out, this was my answer sheet. Yeah, so, yeah, if you make your own, just make sure it works out. The only other thing I brought, and you all can look at this stuff, I don't care, is, this will bring back memories for you. The game of 24, has anybody ever played the game of 24? This is great, it's great for differentiating. You played it, what, second grade?
Something like that, yeah.
You were real young. Whereas this one is, I've got just the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division.
So how does it work?
I was gonna say that. Your answer has to be 24. So, this one, you get the numbers 6, 12, 1.5, and 2. You have to make up a math sentence that equals 24, just using these numbers. This is a little, I haven't even used this yet, the decimal and or fraction set. These are great. You give them the numbers at the beginning of the week, say on Monday, okay, just write them up. Here are the 24 numbers for this week. You, and you do this set. You do that set, and you do that set. They are differentiated. So if I give, my slower learners, they'll get this set. It might be, it's 12, 1, 0.4.6. My on-task learners will get this set. My advanced learners may get this set of numbers. They can have all week to do it. I've never, with Siri and Google now, it makes it a little, they can ask, but I trust them not to. They, just get a sheet or piece of paper, write their answers, turn it in at the end of the week. All the ones that are correct, I draw out and they get a Smartie. Smarties are the best thing to give kids because you can say, oh, they're Smartie for the Smarties. And they're not too bad. And that's not funny.
How do I say no?
I did.
Okay.
It was Kevin's aunt. So, these are great. They can do them home. They don't have to do them, but it's just something that, again, taxes the brain in math. What else? Kevin, I'll warn you, 50 minutes and it'll go fast. All right, Kevin,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have any questions?
I do. What questions do you all have? That's my
All right.
question. So, open things up to questions now for Ms. Gerstle about her, can be anything about like how she got into teaching, what's her experience been like, how she handled specific things that can happen in or out of the classroom.
And it doesn't have to be about math. I mean, I've taught, what did we figure, 12 years?
She's taught 12, she's had 4 years of sort of assistant teaching training and 12 years as a full-time teacher.
So, I mean, it can be about anything, classroom management, anything. I noticed he was doing, Kevin was telling me he was doing lesson plans. These are really nice lesson plans. When you're a teacher, my lesson plans consist of page 44, multiplying by 2 decimal number or 2-digit numbers, homework, that's it. These, well, I know, you will have to write formal lesson plans occasionally. I teach at a private school, so we're a lot more lax, the JCPS, Jefferson County Public Schools in Louisville. They are much more strict on what you can and cannot do. I was just telling Kevin they're, like you cannot write in your lesson plan bathroom break. It has to be health break. Wow, yes, I guess it's health related, but that seems silly, just the one word, but, so we are pretty relaxed, let's say, about our lesson plan. But yes, I do have to write those. I get observed twice a year, by my principal, and we do have to have, a more formal lesson plan. All right, any other questions? Sure.
How do you find like classroom management with younger kids is compared to like maybe a little bit older kids?
With the younger ones, there's a great, thing out there. I used it for a year, and I learned that I'm not with a good teacher for the real young ones. And it's called Classroom Dojo. And it's just an online thing, where it shows, oh, you clipped up, you clipped down, things like that. We do, what we call, verbal warnings. All right, Kevin's screwing around, Kevin, stop it. Then he does it.
I'm Dr. Burstel in this class.
That's rude.
Kevin.
You're getting a verbal warning because of that. And we keep a clipboard. Because we do rotate our classes. They come to me for math, somebody else for this, so we keep a clipboard. So I would have given him a verbal warning for being rude. And then if he had, continued, he would have gotten a yellow slip, which is really just a piece of paper that he has to, we write down what all you did, and then it would go home to be signed. It can go up to red slip, orange slip, then red slip. I think I've given one red slip in 12 years. Usually they once you give them a verbal warning. One thing that I do, if the whole classroom just will not calm down, I start counting back from 5. And this is another way they can learn negative numbers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, -1, -2. If they're not quiet. Then any negative numbers, say I get to -3, they have to sit out at lunch, at recess. They have to sit outside watching the other kids play, which is just a killer right there. Because why can't we be playing? Be quiet. And it seems like 3 minutes, and usually if it's 3 minutes, I do it a minute and a half. I usually cut it in half because they can't tell time. It seems like an eternity to them. Oh my gosh, you're making us sit here and watch them play forever, when it's really been, because if a parent comes back and says, why didn't you let them have recess? It was only for a minute. They can survive, So things like that, I've been lucky. I've had pretty good kids. I did have a runner one year when I taught kindergarten who literally would not stay in the classroom. I had to teach with my hand on the door knob, holding it closed while he is trying to pry it up. If he got my hand off, zoom, he was out the door. He would run into the principal's office. Hey, principal, take off running again. That one was a special case. By Christmas, he was only coming to school a half day. We were a full day kindergarten, but he was only coming a half day, and then he had to repeat. He just smart as a whip, but just not emotionally ready to be in school. And you'll run into some of that, especially with the young. Who here, and I know you may not know, who here plans on teaching 5th and under? Anybody? All right. Middle school? High school? Don't know. Okay, yeah. All right, yeah, like I say, I've taught through 5th grade. A lot of this stuff applies. Develop a look. Haven't seen this since the day he was born. And also silence can be your best friend.
This is true.
And just don't say a word, and they will get the message. If they are the whole class is talkative, act like, and they see it, they know. Set these examples early in the year though. Get early from the very first day. You set what your expectations are for the class and do it, and just repeat them. So by now, like I say, I just have to start counting 5, 4, 3. Everybody be quiet before she gets to a negative number.
How do you deal with math anxiety in a lot of kids?
There is a lot of math anxiety. The main thing, again, I come back, you don't know it yet. We are gonna learn this. We are going to do this together. I have a math lab that I teach on Monday afternoons. I teach the third grade math lab, then there's another teacher that will teach fourth, and our principal teaches fifth, and that's just for logistic reasons. That, it's free, they can come to, it's maybe not a one-on-one, but I don't think I've ever had more than 5. And so that gets them a lot, but just break it down in things into steps. You are smart, you can do this. I know you can't, but let's work on this. Let's do it, just this little bit. Okay, great. Now, show me this part. Go do that little, just go add those numbers. Now come back and I'll explain the next part. Things like that, break it down. Show them, and I think you may have wanted a question about this, show them different ways to do things. In math, there's not just one way to multiply, there's not just one way to, right now we're working on a lot of multiplications, that's why I keep coming back. I taught this was the 4th grade, we were working on double-digit multiplications. I showed them 4 different ways, and actually, the 5th one will become at the end of the unit, because I don't really want them to use it, but show them, we do standard algorithm, we do partial products, we do distributed property, and what was the matrix model? And then the lattice method, or whatever that was. Show them that there are different ways to use it. I had a parent come back to me at the end of the year, she said, if you hadn't shown my daughter the matrix model, she'd have never passed your class. She doesn't know the standard algorithm, she will learn it, but she can do this, what we call matrix model. And she passed the class, with flying colors, but she still could not do. And so I didn't grade her on having to know the standard algorithm. She couldn't do it yet, but she could do this other way, so I let her do it that way. We do, I'm sure you all probably did this when you were in timed quizzes, math minutes, math in a minute, they've got all kinds of names. I grade them for accuracy and for speed and just average the 2 grades, but there are some that speed has to go out the window. I can't grade them for speed, they get 5 questions right in 3 minutes, it's a miracle. So I grade them on those 5 questions only. I don't worry about speed, and it'll get there. And if not, they still need to know their math facts, they're a little slow, that's okay. Yes?
What's your favorite part about being a teacher and your least favorite part about
The favorite part is the kids, by far. And when you see something, that light bulb goes off and they know it, man, you're this high, you're floating on the ground, it's great. You've taught them something, they can be the sweetest kids. They all know I love Almond Joys, it's just kind of a joke. I get at Halloween, I still get 8th graders bringing me their Almond Joys from their Halloween candy. Here, Miss Gerstle, here's your Almond Joys. I had some the other day that brought me some still. I found these at the bottom of my bag. So that's by far, just being with the kids, they're funny, they're sweet, they'll tell you stuff you don't really ever need to know. It's like, okay, that's nice, go sit down. The least favorite part, Dr. Kirsten, what do you think it is?
I'm gonna guess it's parents.
Parents, big time. Parents, either, why is my child not learning faster? My child does not know this. Why? Well, because we're working on it. Or we have recently had a case where my child is so smart, he should skip 5th grade math and go to 6th grade math. No, he shouldn't. We're gonna pull him out and take him to another school because you all won't let him go to 6th grade math. If he goes to 6th grade math, he's gonna drown. There's so much from 5th grade he still does not know. But it's just trying to deal, and it can be anything from when was the due date for that brochure that you said was due the end of September? The due date was the end of September. What is the end of September? Things like that. Parents tend to wanna think you're at their beck and call. Over the weekend, I get, so many emails, "Well, he forgot his book, can you get him his book?" No. To the point, I don't even look at my email, I do, but they don't think I do over the weekend because, no, I'm not gonna drive us to school and get his book and take it to your house, Well, what'll happen? Nothing will happen. He said, I used to have to tell him this, if you fail a test in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade, I still think you can go to college and get a good job. It's not the be-all, end-all. And parents don't understand that. It's not the be-all, end-all. But yeah, just dealing with parents, I always said I'd like to teach in an orphanage.
Parents are the worst.
They are. Yes, sir.
What is a permanent record card and does it exist?
Yes, it does. It actually does. We have folders for every student. We only have like 400 students. And we have 5 folders on every student, and on the back is your permanent record. And every year, at the end of the year, we have to fill out their final grade, their number of absences and tardies, and if we promoted them. And actually, when they go to high school, especially if they are going to, Louisville's a very, very Catholic city, and we have we have some big Catholic high schools. If they are going to a Catholic high school, we send them a copy of their permanent record. So yes, it does exist. Now, again, will it keep you from getting a job? No. But the high school might, and they use it also, they could use that for placement then. For the last 4 years, he's had a C in math. We're gonna put him in this math class as opposed to algebra 1 or 2. But yeah, there is such a thing. Okay, back there, quick.
How do you break the news of bad grades to the students and the parents?
I love doing that. Because first of all, they should already know, they should be seeing their papers come home once a week. We have what we call a Friday folder. I will email them, hey, Kevin is not doing very well in math today, I'm concerned. If you look at his past few tests, he's not, scoring where I think he should be. Is he studying for his simple solution quizzes Friday? Does he bring home the study guides? Because I do a study guide that is exactly because I make up my own test. The study guide is just like the test, basically with the numbers and the names changed. Also, a fun little thing, do TV shows when if you're writing your own test, Sheldon, da-da-da-da-da, and Penny took 5 of his, so just, they think it's hilarious when they can write, you did The Office this week, didn't you? You did Big Bang. They did not know the Brady Bunch. That was upset. But yeah, you have to say, could you please talk to them, or what are you doing at home to help him? And kind of puts some of the onus back onto the parents, that yes, they are learning in school, but this is also a collaborative effort between the two of us, and that we have to work together to bring their grades up. And usually that's all it takes. Yes, ma'am.
How do you deal with absences and not letting the kid fall further behind while trying to catch them up?
That's been really hard. Like I said, we pass it, we have each homeroom has a clipboard, and you pass it to the various teachers. So if somebody is absent for a day, it's no big deal. We have a sheet, our while you were sick sheet, and you fill out what they were, going to, what we did that in school that day, just any kind of news. It's broken down by class, but you can also put anything on there. And then at the end of the day, we have what we call a homework table. It's out in the hallway that can be accessed. You don't need to get into the actual school part itself. We're built with a church, so they could get, if it's at the top of the stairs before the door to the school. And The homework is up there. We notify the parents that homework and books. If they have a sibling, we send the books and the homework home for a sibling. It's gotten harder, say with, if they're gonna be out for a week, with the virus or something. We usually will start on Monday, start a Google document and have all the teachers fill it in, hopefully by Monday afternoon of what they're planning for the week, and then send that to the parents along with all their books. If they've been out and I feel like, they miss a huge chunk, they didn't get a chance to study for their test, they can have more time for their test. They can come in before, after school, talk to me, see what they learned or missed, things like that. And then I can give them. One thing we do, especially the grades I teach, if they don't finish a test, we don't just take the paper and say, well, the rest is wrong. We give them time to finish it. It's just, at this age, it's not fair. We have some students that need to go to the learning resource coordinator, and they will take tests in her room. She can help them, she works with them. Some of them just need a quiet place, and they can do that. We're pretty flexible about those types of things. 5th grade, and I started the last year. If on a test, for some reason between 4th and 5th grade, it jumps, it gets much harder. And so if they take a big unit test, whatever they get wrong, I will give that back to them in class. They have a chance to correct their mistakes and earn half of a point. That has helped tremendously with that group. Anything else? Yes, sir.
I guess, how would you deal with a student who, I guess, is ahead on the material where they're getting bored because they're ahead on it, but it's that, developmentally you don't want to put them in the next grade, like they're not quite mature enough.
You would give them extensions. I would give them the harder problems on here, on a project. Like I say, you would maybe ask some extension questions just of them. Break this down now per person. But you can always find just some extensions of, we are a Google school, so we use Google Classroom. I've got breakout rooms. Breakout rooms, they love them, and you can just do them all on your, we have Chromebooks, they're Chromebooks, and I just post those. They can do them if they want. The students tend to really like doing them, so I can give, and I can put, harder ones for those that are, a little more advanced. I didn't say anything about Teachers Pay Teachers yet. It's a godsend. If you don't know about Teachers Pay Teachers, you never have to create anything on your own again.
Can that get written on the board, please?
Yes, sir. All you have to do, say I want to teach, what was I looking up the other day? I can't remember. Go to teachers, pay teachers, type it in, and then you will get a huge list of various things that teachers have already created themselves. I didn't create this. I'm not that computer literate that I can do all this stuff. No, I got this off Teachers Pay Teachers. I put in Thanksgiving dinner, project, grade 3, and I got a whole list. And things, some things are free, a lot of things are free. Mostly $2 to $5. Occasionally you'll get, like, if you want a whole year's worth of plans or a whole year's worth of 5th grade breakout rooms for your Google Classroom. I think I paid $30 for that. But it is so well worth it. It's done, everything. I don't have to worry about it. You get your answer sheets, you get everything. I use Teachers Pay Teachers for everything. And there's probably not a teacher today that doesn't use Teachers Pay Teachers for some things. Because why reinvent the wheel? It's already out there. and developed by a teacher, so they know what they're doing. So, yeah. If you ever, when I was, in school becoming a teacher, anybody can use this, it's just a website. I would use that for everything. Now, that's where these brochures came from. Yeah, I didn't do this. I just went online, paid probably $5, got, all the way through the 12s, print them out, I'm done. So, yeah, use that. This was probably a freebie to back families using dice. Alright, but yeah, use that. Sir?
What sort of training or preparation did you have to go through to become a teacher?
You want the long story or the short story? You know the story.
Well, I was gonna say, I think I know both, but.
Alright, the long story is, I did not graduate college in 4 years. Many years ago, I was 6 hours short. But I had gotten a great job and so just didn't go back to finish. When you were about 12, maybe 10, 12, I went back and finished my those 6 hours. Okay.
Well, I thought I was in high school.
That was might have been my master's.
No, that was in
Oh,
college.
okay. Then I'm in high school, whatever. He was in high school. Then I started working as an assistant in the school that I'm at now. And I really liked it. I thought, I want to do this. I've been a stay-at-home mom to him and his sister. Holy terror. And Kevin wrote one time on a timeline that he did for his life, blah, blah, blah. I was born, but happened to Caroline got mean. And that's pretty much the truth. Caroline got mean and was mean from then on, especially to you. But anyway, so then I went back and got my master's in teaching, my MAT, at just the local college. And that's how I got started. And we had to do, I shouldn't be saying this, that's the best prep to become a teacher is actually doing it. You can learn a lot in class, great, but man, once you get out there, we had to do so many hours of observation when I was getting my MAT a semester. And then we had to do student teaching, 12 weeks of student teaching. Now this is in Kentucky. I was able to do, you had to do at least 6 in the public schools and 6 if you wanted to teach at a private school. So I did 6 at a public school and then 6 where I was teaching actually in the same room. And you did that. Then once I graduated, got my first job, I was teaching kindergarten. We had in Kentucky at the time, it was called KTIP, Kentucky Teachers Internship Program. It was a year-long program, made you jump through a lot of hoops. Some of it was great, some of it I thought was useless. You ended up with a binder about this thick with your everything in there. But yeah, the best way is get in there and just do it. It really is. Any other from you?
I've got plenty on here with their questions.
Okay. Teaching's great. The good things far outweigh the bad for sure. Those almond joys coming in after Halloween, man, that's great. When you're at the end of the school year, somebody brought me a whole bag of mini almond joys because they're like, thanks for this good year. I was like, yes, scored.
She also loves Diet Coke and Mentos. It's a wonder she hasn't exploded.
Yeah. I haven't had Mentos in a long time. Diet Coke is my
Used to go.
like. I could have it interview. I don't drink coffee though. I have a question. Does anybody want to know anything about this one here? I can tell you all kinds of stories about Kevin. We don't have much time.
Are we allowed to call him Kevin?
Here.
I will allow it.
He would mind. Kevin could read by the time he was 3. We pulled into y'all don't have rallies up here probably, it's a burger place. And we didn't go there very often, but I pulled in there, he was sitting in his car seat and he read me the menu. I'm like, what? He read me the menu. He memorized, again, did not know this. You were about 3 or 4. From our house to his grandmother's house, every exit on the highway. You'd say, hey Kevin, what's exit 14? That's Breckenridge Lane South. Or you'd say, what's the airport's exit? That's number 15B. Didn't know it.
Wow.
He did that. He had a memory. Y'all seen Big Bang. There's Sheldon right there. He, remember that Tuesday a few years ago when Caroline fell and skinned her knee? Yeah. It was a Tuesday. Okay, it was, and he would be right. He could hit a memory like a steel trap. What
And
else?
look how far I've fallen since.
And look how far. I mentioned this in the other class, Kevin Sanders. Well, first of all, when Kevin was little, his ideal job, what he wanted to be more than anything in the world, was a Salvation Army bell ringer.
That was after the mailman phase, I think.
Yeah, that was after, he did want to be a mailman too for a while. And then, he decided he wanted to be a game show host. Kevin Sanders, game show host, right there. He would walk around our dining room table, almost wore a groove, I think, in our floor, thinking up these game shows. And then he would play game show host, and we would be, his dad and myself and his aunt, because she lived right behind us, we would be his contestants, and we would have game show night. Because Kevin was Kevin Sanders, that was his alter ego, he decided.
Kevin Sanders, hosting tonight's event, come on now.
He would, and he would use voices, Kevin's always used voices, Gollum. He's a good Gollum. Yeah, Kevin was unique. I don't think that comes as a surprise to anybody, including you.
They've all had almost a full semester at least with me by now.
Oh, he was fun, we could, something about one of the books you read. I can't remember where it was. Kevin also was very literal. One time he came in, never without a book. And to this day, he's very rarely without a book. I know two books at least that you wore out. The Westing Game,
Oh, it's way more than two at this point.
and the Charm School, which is really good. Yes. Kevin came in, wheeze, wheeze, pant, pant, oh, groan, groan. I'm so tired. It was like, that's the way he would read. And, when somebody was tired in the book, it would say, wheeze, pant, or something, and so that's how he thought he had to say it. Wheeze, wheeze, pant, pant.
Wheeze, wheeze.
What other stories can I tell you?
Oh, there's all sorts you can
I
tell.
don't know, give me some more. What else did you do?
I don't know.
I don't know, he's, but always smarter than me. And that's what's funny is my students now, they know about Kevin, and I'll be, well, is Kevin Gerstle smarter than you in math? Oh, slightly.
Ah,
Yeah, we still argue about the math. 3 repetend. Yes, sir?
does 0.9 repetend equal 1?
Equals 0.9 repetend.
Which equals 1?
Nope.
Yeah, want to find out why she's wrong? Come take real analysis this spring.
We argue about this all the time.
0.9 represent doesn't exist.
You don't exist.
I think we do the rational numbers to be fair.
But, no. Good student at school. Yeah, for the most part. Anything that had to do with anything artistic though? No, you were not artistic at all. Still probably would draw a stick figure if you said draw a human.
Yes, I would.
Not artistic. So, does anybody have any questions about anything I brought up here? You're welcome to look through it. There's projects. We do a snowman project in January where they have to build a snowman and they have to buy their parts and then put it together. It's kind of a scary looking. Pass this around real quick. They love, this is a great way to show what they know without, your everyday quizzes and tests, especially with the young ones. You can do, that's old too. You can do all kinds of little projects. They have to develop a math game at the end of the year. Can be anything it can be on anything they want, and we will play it.
Hosted by Kevin Sanders.
And they do board games, we make them board games so they can sit there quietly and play them and not get worked up. Yeah, anything you can do that they sit quietly and you can work them, you'd be surprised at how valuable that is. Oh, yes,
What's been your favorite math game that you've got?
oh gosh. Somebody did a Jeopardy once. That was pretty cool, and they did a board and you lifted up the questions, it was pretty cool. That was fourth grade. Yeah, that would, because I'm a big Jeopardy nerd. So yeah, that was, that one by far. And I love them, you know, whatever, it's the end of the year, show me what you learned.
If they have any other questions that they think of later to ask you, can they ask me the questions and I can forward them to you?
Sure. That's fine. If anybody, you know, thinks you ever want a copy of something, I mean, I've got,
I can get you copies.
Kevin can get copies, I mean, I've got, this is just a small portion of projects. Things like, Gal and Gal, and surprisingly, fifth graders, sometimes you think, oh, this is too young for them. They like doing this type of stuff. Fifth graders need to know measurements, gallons, quarts, pints, which, sorry, gotta go. Anyway, they still will do these quick little art projects. But yeah, if anybody, I mean, I've got all kinds of stuff up here.
Please join me in thanking Ms. Gersel for coming all the way up here.
Some of the scoop on Kev.
There you go. Oh, you're pretty tame. I
I know, I was sitting there last night thinking of all kinds of stuff I can pull.
Alright, have a good Thanksgiving and I'll see you all next Monday for our final class of the semester.
Oh my god.
Really?
Here's the best.
Well, this is only once a week.
Yeah, okay.
This is the best lesson plan we'll get.
Don't be better
I'll be the judge of that, but okay.
From first hour,
Thank you.
I have
Stuff
zero
like
for when you, that like I'm
I
not
think it'll be an automatic failure.
But I called you Lisa.
I am, good morning, everybody.
So one of the girls
Oh, everybody.
was like Miss
I
Saunders,
was
and
so
she was
happy
like,
with
she
that.
was like,
God.
it's so
So
disgusting. I'm like,
I
everyone else is like,
Opening statement. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to literally the
I see. I didn't see that. Yes, I got that. See, you were good to go. Take care.
And I was like, no. Yeah, like they're usually really good at calling me Miss Saunders, but today she just said she's like,
That's
I think I'm looking
Everyone else is like, what's wrong?
having cold. Yeah, like, you get easier.
Like,
I'll probably be doing it bomb.
Yeah, this is the one that works. 14
that's
6
what it
plus
sounds
4
like.
is 4.
Yeah, so it's
Oh, it's a point!
It's
Oh, I didn't realize that was a decimal point.
Yes, you have to.
Are they in
say
the-
decimals.
Yes.
I've
Yeah.